This is a breaking news alert. Lyndsey Graham is dead. Let me repeat that. Republican Senator Lyndsey Graham is dead. Let me read from you a statement from his office that was released moments ago. The office of U.S. Senator Lyndsey Graham released the following statement. On the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lyndsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates prayers at this time and asks for privacy during this incredibly difficult period. Lyndsey Graham is dead at the age of 71. His office says he passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Here's what else we are learning. Emergency personnel responded to a call for cardiac arrest at Lyndsey Graham's Capitol Hill home on Saturday night, according to a police scanner audio obtained by NBC News. Photographs reviewed by NBC News show that a paramedic carried a person on a stretcher from Graham's home to an awaiting ambulance. Police cars and fire trucks were also on site. Lyndsey Graham was pronounced dead soon thereafter. Donald Trump just issued the following statement. Senator Lyndsey Graham, one of the greatest people and senators I have ever known, is dead. He was always working and was a true American patriot. Lyndsey will be greatly missed. And he puts this all in caps. Details and arrangements to follow. So sad. President Donald J. Trump. Now, Lyndsey Graham was supposed to be on Meet the Press today with Congressmember Ro Khanna and Senator Adam Schiff. Lyndsey Graham has now been pronounced dead at the age of 71. The last public appearance involving Lyndsey Graham, he was in Ukraine on Friday. He was touring a drone factory. You see him in this photo over here with the drone, holding drones, walking around the drone factory. Ukraine President Zelensky posted the following message after that Friday visit from Lyndsey Graham in Ukraine. Good meeting with U.S. Senator Lyndsey Graham in Kyiv. This is already his 10th visit to our country. We appreciate his support. I'm grateful to Lyndsey for recognizing our warriors. The stronger Ukraine is on the battlefield, the greater chances that diplomacy will ultimately succeed. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, the state from which Lyndsey Graham is a senator, put out the following statement. Peggy and I and our children are devastated. Lyndsey Graham is irreplaceable, the fiercest of fighters for South Carolina and America, and a loyal and steadfast friend. We grieve with Darlene, his family, and his devoted staff. May God hold him gently in the palm of his hand. We shall not see his likes again. This was the press conference that Lyndsey Graham gave from Ukraine just hours, I guess, before he died. Play this clip. This was Lyndsey Graham in Ukraine. He then flew back to Washington, D.C., and then shortly thereafter, he died of cardiac arrest. Let's just play this clip.
I've never been more optimistic than I am today that we have the formula to end this war. Help Ukraine be more lethal. Let those supporting Russia to know it's going to be a price to be paid if you keep doing it. And to try to find an off-ramp, not to humiliate Putin, but to end this war so that Ukraine will thrive and survive.
Sanctions package, what kind of allocations do we expect to see?
Now, just to remind you as well of some of the things that Lyndsey Graham had said lately, he recently said, within the past few months, I will be with Israel until my dying day. Here's what Lyndsey Graham said. Play this clip.
All the anti-Semites, to all the isolationists, I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for. So we have a commander-in-chief in President Trump, who I think is Ronald Reagan plus.
Lyndsey Graham also was cheerleading for the death of Cuba. He said, Cuba is next. After we take out Iran, We will get Cuba. They will fall. Their days are numbered, is what he said. Let's play this clip.
Is President Trump finished the job that President Reagan failed to do? I am a big admirer of Ronald Reagan, but I'm here to tell you that Donald Trump, in my opinion, is the gold standard for Republicans, maybe any president, when it comes to foreign policy. Maduro, everybody talked about him. Well, Donald Trump's got him in jail. Cuba's next. They're going to fall. This communist dictatorship in Cuba, their days are numbered. The Iranian regime, the mothership of international terrorism, is about to collapse. The captain of the ship, the Ayatollah, is stone cold dead.
We're getting some reactions from some leadership in Iran. Professor Morandi, who's with the Iran negotiating team, put out the following statement. Too bad. I wanted him to see the oil market prices on Monday before going to hell. You have statements from Ben Gvir, right-wing extremist in Israel. He writes, today Israel has lost one of its greatest friends. Senator Lyndsey Graham stood with Israel, not because it was easy, because he believed it was right. All of Israel's leadership responding. Israel Katz, Israel's defense minister, writes, I'm deeply saddened by the passing of Senator Lyndsey Graham, a true friend of the state of Israel. Also getting word from Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu posts, Sarah and I grieve with the American people over the loss of our dear friend, Senator Lyndsey Graham. In our recent meeting, I said, Lyndsey is a great friend of Israel and a cherished friend of mine. We have no better friend than Lyndsey. Should also be noted that earlier today, or yesterday, a spokesperson for Senator Mitch McConnell, 84 years old. He's been in the hospital now for 4 weeks. He told local media that Mitch McConnell continues his recovery in the hospital. Mitch McConnell, 84 years old. Lyndsey Graham has just died at the age of 71 years old. Now, we have to look towards South Carolina's code of laws. There will now have to be an urgent special election taking place in South Carolina to replace Lyndsey Graham heading into the upcoming election. So that will be taking place as well. It should also be noted the following. Lyndsey Graham, who of course became a Donald Trump sycophant, a Donald Trump bootlicker, however you want to describe it. Here's what he used to think about Donald Trump. This is from 10 years ago when he was defending his late friend, John McCain, and Lyndsey Graham, who's now passed away at the age of 71. Here's what he had to say back 10 years ago about Donald Trump. Let's play it.
That he's a jackass.
Really?
That he's bringing his name down and he's not helping the process, and he shouldn't be commander-in-chief. If you want to be commander-in-chief of the armed forces, you need to understand that John McCain and all like him, not just John, are truly American heroes. And then when you put yourself in harm's way, that makes you a hero. But you know what I think makes you a hero? When you're the spouse raising kids when your loved one's deployed. I've been in the military for 33 years. It truly is a team and a family. Mm-hmm. So what he said about John, I think, was offensive. He's becoming a jackass at a time when we need to have a serious debate about the future of the party and the country. We're on the verge of giving an Iranian Ayatollah, who's a radical jihadist, a pathway to a nuclear bomb. The world is literally falling apart. We're becoming Greece here at home. And all we're talking about is Donald Trump and everybody he insults. But he's crossed the line here. There may be some frustration with our border. I get that. That's no justification for slandering on it. Huh?
What's the line he crossed?
Saying that John McCain and people like him are not American heroes. The American people will not tolerate what he is doing now regarding those who have served. This is a line he's crossed, and this is the beginning of the end of Donald Trump.
Senator, you seem angry.
I am really pissed because John, oh, come on. You know, John and I have been buddies. Forget.
And then also Lyndsey Graham has, again, before dying completely changed his personality. And he went from saying very positive things about former President Biden to attacking Biden very personally and then becoming a Donald Trump sycophant until his literal dying day. Just to remind you, this is what Lyndsey Graham had to previously say about former President Biden before Lyndsey Graham turned into an ultra MAGA Donald Trump extremist until his dying day. Here, play this clip.
If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, then it's probably you got a problem. You need to do some self-evaluation. Because what's not to like? Here's what I can tell you. That life can change just like that. Don't take it for granted. Don't take relationships for granted. I called him after Bo died. And he basically said, well, Bo was my soul. We've talked for a long time. He came to my ceremony and said some of the most incredibly heartfelt things that anybody could ever say to me. And he's the nicest person I think I've ever met in politics.
Is that right?
He is as good a man as God ever created. And we don't agree on much. But I think he's been dealt a really gut blow. I think he focuses on what he's got to do, not what he lost. His heart's been ripped out, but he's going to make sure that the other members of his family is well taken care of. And he started talking about his grandkids. More worried about them than anything. We just talked about the future.
Yeah.
He started talking about the future of his family.
There you have it, folks. Lyndsey Graham is dead, dying at the age of 71, sudden cardiac arrest after returning from overseas from Ukraine. Lyndsey Graham dead at the age of 71.
Welcome back again. Thank you so much to our subscribers for your support. If you have not subscribed yet, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that anytime we upload a video, you'll be the first one to know. Let's get right into it. So Donald Trump is always finding himself in one trouble or the other. Nothing is different this time. He's just found himself in a crisis after the death of Lyndsey Graham. What is so shocking and what many people are asking is that Donald Trump was heard in the American media saying that he was the last person to speak to Graham before his death. And they're saying that it might be a heart attack or a cardiac arrest, But there are so many questions that are unanswered. People are asking so many questions. Why were you the last person to speak to him before his death? So many unanswered questions. I hope that these questions get to be answered. So for those who do not know about Lyndsey Graham, he's been a household of the American politics for more than 3 decades now. He's been a supporter of the American military and the American politics for a very long time. So let's get into some videos to just unfold what really happened to Lyndsey Graham. Let's get into the videos.
Anybody like him? He was so intent. I mean, he literally called me about the Save America Act. That's why he's, that's where I heard it. Think of it. He's traveling for many, many hours. That's a long flight. That's a long trip. And he, calls me about the Save America Act. He thought we were going to get it passed.
Do you remember
This is a big blow to the Save America Act, let me tell you.
Do you remember, Mr. President, what was the last thing you said to him? What was the last thing he said to you?
I said, we'll see you soon. Come over anytime you want. He came into the White House a lot because I liked him. Can't do that with everybody.
Oh my God. Lyndsey Graham just died. This statement was just released from his office. It says, statement from the office of U.S. Senator Lyndsey Graham, Republican, South Carolina. The office of U.S. Senator Lyndsey Graham released the following statement. On the evening of Saturday, July 11th, U.S. Senator Lyndsey Graham passed away from a brief and sudden illness. Senator Graham's family appreciates the prayers that this... Holy shit, guys. Are we down 2 fucking senators? 2 fucking Republican senators? Oh my... Wow. You heard that Lyndsey Graham died of a brief and sudden illness. Don't tell me that the first thought you didn't have was the exploding lettuce diarrhea shit, because that's what I thought it was at first too. But nay, emergency personnel responded to a call for cardiac arrest at Graham's Capitol Hill home, which is weird because I didn't know he had a heart to begin with. They obtained a police scanner audio, and the photographs reviewed by NBC show that paramedics carried a person on a stretcher from Graham's home to an awaiting ambulance. Police cars and fire trucks were also on site. And then I thought about it. I'm like, weren't you just like getting back from overseas? And he did. He just got back from Ukraine, where he met with President Zelensky on Friday. Zelensky added that they were discussing the country's urgent air defense needs and plans for fresh Russian sanctions. Etsy witches work hard, but sometimes Russians work harder. Graham had actually been scheduled to appear on NBC News' Meet the Press today, Sunday. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning too, so at one point I was like, did he just croak to take the attention off Mitch McConnell? Donald Trump had the following to say: Senator Lyndsey Graham, one of the greatest people and senators I have ever known, is dead. He will always... I'm so sorry. I can't get over the exclamation mark. He was always working and was a true American patriot. Lyndsey will be greatly missed! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Details and arrangements to follow. So sad, President Donald J. Trump. Look, I get it. It's been extra hot these days, but the doors to hell are open to let people like Lyndsey Graham and Mitch McConnell through. What's the saying? They go in threes.
Senator Lyndsey Graham passed away last night of a brief and sudden illness. What that illness was, we don't really know. However, some interesting things happened the day before with Lyndsey Graham, and that was the fact that he was visiting a Ukraine drone facility. Now, there is some word on the street that Russia may have bombed that drone facility the very next day, and then they come out and say that he died of a serious and sudden illness. Now, if you ask me, a drone strike in a building that you're in would be a, brief and sudden illness that would take you out. But it would be a very interesting thing not to get out in the public that Russia just took out a U.S. senator, because that might lead to some severe escalations that nobody wants to happen. So I do find all of this a bit interesting.
So when I get back to Washington, I'm going to go with Senator Blumenthal to the Republican and Democratic leader to see if we can find time to move this Russian sanctions package that would give tools to President Trump to help end this war.
Can you tell us, Mr. President, how you received this news and your immediate gut reaction when you heard it?
So what makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime at, the early evening, maybe in the 7s, and he called and he said, we're all set for the Save America Act. He was pushing the Save America Act like crazy. He got back, said he just landed from Ukraine. I said, that's a long trip to make it. He said, he sounded a little tired, but perfect, but a little bit tired. I had a right to be. And he was a worker. He was really a worker. But he sounded great, actually. But he actually said he was tired. But he wanted to pass the Save America Act. And I said, well, we're going to get it done, Lyndsey. We're going to get it done. I'll see you soon. We thought maybe we might even meet today. And then that was it. And that was, very around the time. It couldn't have been much longer. It could have been his last call. I don't know exactly, but I got a message about 1 o'clock in the morning from one of the people at his office that he had passed away. I said, I just can't believe it. He was like a member of the family to me. It's very tough, actually. It's amazing.
Mr. President,
He was such an advocate. He was, if he wanted to get something, and he had a unique ability. He was able to deal with Democrats and Republicans. If I had a problem, a real problem, I wouldn't often ask. But if I had a problem with a Democrat, he could work it out. He was a great politician, actually.